between a donkey show and a comedy show. The donkey show actually starts on time. When I walked into the comedy scene a few months ago, I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I was a chaperone at a high school dance. I felt like I was walking into auditions for 40-Year-Old Virgin. You know, I've been given a lot of great advice as a comedian, right? Write about things that you know about, things that are personal to you. Which makes me wonder, why so many comedians write about gay shit? Maybe they got the same tip that I did. Or maybe just a tip. But, you know, I feel like a lot of comedians also like to talk a lot about their sex life, right? And it's like a lot. Which is, you know, it's hard to believe and, you know, it gets old. Kind of like a priest telling their little kid, this never happened. And we get it, okay? We're happy that you're having a sex life. Great, you know? But don't shove it down our throats. Shove it down your girlfriend's throat and leave us out of it. In fact, I think that in the next comedy team meeting, we should have a big celebration for everybody that's getting laid, all the comedians that are getting laid, with a big cake and a piñata, right? And the cake could be like 2 big boobs, and the piñata could be like 1 giant dick. Keep it classy, right? But yeah, all I can say is that, you know, in fact, I got a joke. What do you call a comedian without a girlfriend? Homeless. Oh, no, wait. You guys don't have girlfriends, you live with your mom. I'm kidding. I don't wanna piss anybody off because some of you look like school shooters. Because you're incels. But, you know, in fact, that I heard that ISIS is gonna start recruiting at the open mics because you like to bomb. What's the difference between a terrorist and a comedian? A terrorist actually knows when they're bombing. And you know, that's true. But as you can tell, comedians are a male-dominated field. And I was in the military, so I know about male-dominated fields. Give it up for veterans. Right? You know what's another male-dominated field? Taking it up the ass. Just ask Ramon Ayala's second and third. But, you know, it's like, you know, how many comedians does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1. But the light bulb has to be unconscious and unable to give consent. I'm not saying you're a rapist, I'm saying you're rapey. You're like Epstein but no island. But for real, everybody has been super nice and sweet to me. You know, kind of like that guy that tried to put me in their van one time. That kind of friendly. For the record, if anybody wants to Bill Cosby me, you know, put something in my drink, just let me know ahead of time, right? That way I don't want to get a new set of car keys. I don't want to get another ID. You know, I want to secure my belongings, right? Make sure I get a ride home. And, you know, what's the definition of insanity? Saying the same joke over and over and expecting a different result. But people like to say a lot of things about comedians. They're like, you know, valley comedians aren't funny. And I say, that's not true. A lot of comedians that are not funny are not from the valley. But, you know, it's like, I'm getting nervous. But no, I'm kidding. Like, I heard a lot of the comedians were going to start a baseball league, and I wasn't invited. I felt bad. Apparently, there were too many catchers, not enough pitchers. All the games were away games, away from their girlfriends. But I knew that I belonged when I smelled the sweet smell of ganja in the air, right? And I was like, yeah, these are my fucking people, right? But I know I crashed the comedy club, the boys' comedy club, right? But I'm a toxic and I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere, right? So I'm gonna go for my alcoholic jokes now. Where are all my alcoholics at? All right. So with alcoholics, a lot of people are trying to get sober, right? You know, they're quitting drinking, they're quitting smoking, they're quitting having sex. I'm like, I'm gonna quit taking advice. You gotta quit having fun. I'm not an alcoholic because alcoholics go to meetings. And, you know, I don't have a substance abuse problem, I like it. Well, the judge thought it was a problem, right? I remember one time, I was a little buzzed and I was driving and then I got pulled over and they're like, you know, you went over that curb back there. Yeah, that's why I have a Jeep. Step out of the car. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, You know, and I don't know what they're having me doing this field sobriety test. That's just hard. I don't know why I just said, man, I can't even do this shit sober. What did you just say? I'm like, the weather conditions and the visibility and something. I just pulled that out of my ass. Not my fake ass, because everybody's getting fake asses now. But you know, I like to drink, and like most women, we talk to guys to get free drinks, right? Who hasn't talked to a guy to get free drinks? Raise your hand. All right? Some of you guys have gone gay for that shit too, don't lie. But you know, it gets old and tired. You get tired of hearing the same fucking stories, right? Yeah, show me another picture of your kid, está curiosito. Or yeah, your baby mama's such a bitch, you're so brave for leaving her. You know, it's like, piensa que por su chula cara we're talking to them, right? It's like, whatever, man. Buy me another shot. It's like, what's everybody's favorite shot? Any tequila drinkers? Any Jaeger? Yeah? All right. You know what my favorite shot is? My favorite shot is the one I didn't pay for. You know? But I can't do that shit no more. I don't get drunk, for the record. I get overserved. Very different. And everybody says that it's the last shot that got them, right? It's that last shot. No, dumbass. It's the fucking 4 shots in the 8 years that you took before that. But yeah, I don't like to get too drunk because I get toxica mode. I listen to Paquita la del Barrio to get me started. Rata de dos patas. Me estás oyendo inútil. You know, and I start doing crazy things. I think like toxica mode is like a superpower. You start pulling AC units out of a window, kicking doors. I'm like, I didn't even know I could do that shit, man. But you can't do that shit no more, man. You know, I miss the days where you could assault someone without catching a charge. Those were the days, right? Now you gotta do verbal vergazos, right? You gotta do comebacks. So listen up, ladies. If anybody ever calls you fat, just tell them this. You know what? El weight se me quita, pendejo. Pero lo pendejo chaparro es molde, eso nunca se te quita, idiota. But I learned to drink when I was in the military. And my Toxica origin story is like, I wasn't born Toxica, I was made Toxica, right? And when I was in the military, I remember I almost didn't get in. In fact, you know, I hated it. Not because I didn't want to serve my country, but because I was pissed that I was in basic. I mean, it's not supposed to be fun. And so I was in basic training and I took a test, which I thought was a survey, and they asked me questions like, you know, when I get mad, I throw things. Man, I want to throw this test right now. Highly agree. You know, it's like, hey, when I get mad, I see red, I see black. Fuck this test. Highly agree. So I got more mad as the test continued. I was like getting all with it. I'm like, man, I aced this test. And then they're like, 2 days later, my drill sergeant's like, Gonzalez, Mitchell, you know, Brown. All right, you 3 crazies, go retake the psych exam. And whatever you put the opposite. If you want to stay in the military. It's like, fuck, man. I passed the retest. I didn't pass. I couldn't pass a Marine test, but I didn't have any crayons. But yeah, man. And you know, in the military, it's like military.